Go.
Frankincense, vanilla and skunk. A short history of smell as power. Words by Christopher Dodds. I'm standing in a casino that smells like banal desperation and lemon floor cleaner. The carpet is loud enough to trigger a migraine. The pokies drone like 1,000 sad cicadas. And somewhere in the vents a florist is being murdered. People aren't winning, they're lingering. That's the trick. You don't have to make them lucky, just comfortable enough to forget time. Follow the nose and you'll find the story. Priests knew it, so did emperors and marketers. Incense floated through temples long before a copywriter coined olfactory marketing. Frankincense, sandalwood, wood. The old world didn't call it behavioural design. It was sacred. Same circuitry, different sales pitch. You light the resin, the limbic system opens like a stubborn jar. Memory, fear, comfort, all the soft spots where logic goes to smoke a cigarette. Flash to a hospital suite where they start pumping vanilla into the room, and boom, the panic drops off a cliff. Less anxiety, fewer sedations, and faster recovery. Vanilla isn't sexy, it's mum's pantry and a Sunday sponge. It tells your gut, chill dude, you're loved, you'll live. While the service teams discuss patient-centered care, the real innovation could be a whiff of cake. On a Seoul bus, a Dunkin' ad plays and a machine squirts espresso vapor into the morning air. Passenger steps off and walks straight into the stores because their brains have already been swallowed by a coffee. Pavlov wears a tie and catches a 7:45. Sales spike. Somewhere a brand team wins a sales award. Meanwhile, in the West Bank, police roll out water cannons filled with a liquid nicknamed Skunk. It's a charming smell of mix and rotting flesh, sewage and apocalypse. Reality falls apart when it hits skin and nose. Riot desperal by pure disgust. No sermon about the ethics of state power will beat 6 hours smelling like a midsummer fire bin. Same pathway as the incense, different destination. You can smooth the crowd or scatter it. The receptors don't care. We like to pretend we're rational creatures with firm opinions and reusable shopping bags. Then a bakery opens its door and we become generous. There's a study for that, the bread test. Apparently, passers-by were kinder outside a warm lingerie than a warm cold clothing store. Forget moral philosophy. The French baguette is a better guide to human decency than the Bible, Buddha, or bar tab. The gospel according to sourdough. Airlines got the memo years ago. Singapore Airlines piped a custom floral citrus scent into towels and uniforms until the smell became an olfactory passport stamp. Step on board, take a breath, and you're already halfway to Shanghai with your memory doing brand's heavy lifting. Hotels followed. Lobbies dressed in quiet tea and clear linen. You can close your eyes in a Western and know you're still in a Western. It's a logo you inhale. And remember when the Melbourne airport started using a floor cleaning product smelling like Santal? They were late to the party and killed the vibe for everybody, including the Labo. Back in the fluorescent grind of retail, a simple orange scent out-perfumes some complicated orange basil green tea masterpiece because your brain doesn't have the work to decode it. Less cognitive load, more buying. A Nike store adds whispers of flowers and purchase intent jumps. You're not being hypnotized, you're being nudged while composing a reasonable justification. The Romans burned rosemary to chase away the plague. Medieval worshippers turned into prayers into smoke. The US Office of Strategic Services cooked up a World War II stink bomb called Who Me? A squeeze bottle of liquidized shame meant to be sprayed on German officers. The theory, cover a colonel in eau de sueur and watch his authority curdle in front of his men. The reality of the bottle leak, partisans sprayed themselves, and half of Paris ended up smelling like the devil's armpit. Councils found their own olfactory weapon of choice in fox piss. They misted public Christmas trees with the stuff, so if some sticky-fingered bastard drags one home, the lounge room heats up and suddenly Santa smells like an unwashed kennel. They do it with music too. Apparently punks won't hang around train stations that pipe classical music. Religion, commerce, policing and medicine. Scent bypasses negotiation. It plugs straight into the bits of you that decided shelter, fire, mate, run. That's why grief appears as a smell before it becomes a thought. Why your knees go weak at a stranger's perfume that matches your first love. Why losing your sense of smell makes life feel like cardboard. Of course, this power cuts both ways. Abercrombie cranked the music so high their stores became teenage fog machines, and the backlash arrived on schedule. Here's the uncomfortable bit. Once you notice, you can't stop noticing. The property opens, smells like money that just got laundered in Bergamot. Work down any inner city street, Subway and KFC, and just happen to find your nose half a block away. That's not accidental, it's marketing. And I'm not here to wag a finger at incense or vanilla. Let them smoke the temple. Let the MRI hum with sponge cake air. What matters is that nose has been running the con long before since language. We drag our history through it. Temples and kitchens, bakeries and fast food outlets, fox piss on Christmas trees. Every whiff is a postcard from somewhere you can't quite name. So what do? You can't hold your breath forever. Learn your triggers. Name the trick. Let the scent pass through and ask, what does this smell want from me? Maybe you still buy the shoes. Maybe you'll still drop a 20 in the slot machine. Maybe you still weep in a church because the smoke reminded you of your grandpa's pipe. Fine. Human. I leave the casino. The night smells like a cedar cigar box and a blown gasket. Somewhere a bakery door opens and the street turns warm and soft around the edges. I keep walking, nose breathing on purpose, thinking about how the oldest magic is also the cheapest. The world will keep a few minute stories. Our job is to decide which is worth following and which is just bait.